20 seconds to process as many documents as is needed, and then object character recognition to help to read more complex PDFs. So what does LOLA do in particular? So what it does is it first translates documents, be they Word, Excel, or PDF, into over 100 or from over 100 languages to English, and now very recently to Portuguese, Russian, French, and Spanish. It reads and analyzes large books of evidence it's provided by institutions and delivers an initial assessment of performance of the institution against each one of the benchmarks of the seal. So it estimates a scoring between 1 or 0, a preliminary scoring, delivers a short narrative performance assessment, identifies the main relevant findings of each evidence, and very importantly, proposes a set of questions for the external assessors to pose to the institution. So almost what's in the evidence, what's missing from the evidence, and what can be found out in further interviews to help verify whether the institution passes and qualifies for the gender seal. So upon output, the results are downloaded in an Excel matrix aligned to the structure of the gender quality seal matrix. We're currently running it at a wide varying accuracy depending on the institution, so between 42 and 95%. Targets to get over 80% over time, training, prompt engineering, etc. We're increasing the accuracy rates. It's very important to note that same with all AI tools. So the scoring analysis always needs to be reviewed by a seal specialist. Human oversight is strictly important.
Okay, yeah.
So here we have a few demonstrations of,
yes,
it's all good, no problem, of just the outputs of LOLA. So this is the output that comes through and then is then brought forward to assessors through the institution. I think an important piece to note as well is all evidence supplied by institutions is confidential, does contain sensitive information. So one thing we've been very careful to do is to process it with making sure everything is encrypted in transit and encrypted in rest to make sure that maximal data security, data privacy is enforced as well.
So what have we learned during this process? So what we've learned, and you know, Terence is an AI specialist, I am not. So working with AI is not something that finishes at a certain time. It's a continuous improvement process. So there are all things that you cannot do today with the current AI technology accessible to UNDP, but then maybe after 2 weeks, you can do it because, you know, the technology is very rapidly evolving. The second thing is that in our case, we are working now to really improve the prompts that we give LOLA, because when we wrote our description of what each one of the benchmarks implies, we wrote it for humans and for people that understand what the seal is. So LOLA is not that the case. So, you know, our prompts have to be much more self-explained and clear. For us, it's been very, very important. First of all, that there's a continuous engagement between the technical development, which is Terence, and the final user, which in this case, it's me and my team. So at the end of the day, what we come out with is something that is usable and that is going to be improving with time. We've also learned that it's not, when designing an AI product, it's very important to bring on board from the beginning a designer that is able to make sure that from the beginning, the user experience of whatever we are designing is the best possible. And yeah, finally, Terence always said, human gender equality expertise in our case, because this tool is about gender equality assessment, is always required. What are the main challenges of developing a tool like this one is the time dedication that we have to put in to improve the prompts and all the testing. And also in our case is that we can handle many different types of documents or evidence coming from institutions, from videos to PowerPoints to Word, Excel, whatever. So sometimes that is also a challenge. And finally, just for you to know, what are we working in? We want to really improve the results of LOLA so we can trust with an over 80% let's say positive responses or consistence. We want to increase the capacity for reading and translating while we maintain the cost. Right now, the estimated cost of each assessment of an institution that we have right now is around $10 to $15. So it's very reasonable, but we need to maintain it low. And what we want to achieve as a final stage is that LOLA is not only able to produce the matrix, but also to produce the narrative report and to propose an action plan of improvement based on the recommendations of the report.